And I think that's what's going on with a lot of people with these gun views. They refuse to hear another outlook. Our channel, we make videos. We brought that. The people who make your bullets in your gun say, you need to look at this right here. Mm-hmm. They say, no, we can't believe that.
Right, it don't matter.
I want to believe a guy, a YouTube guy, you know. People on here are hypocrites, plain hypocrites. And I'm about to show you why. Now, 9mm is the most popular pistol in the United States, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
Could you say the AR-15 is very popular?
Yeah.
But the claim on the 9mm, they say it's no stopping power, right?
But before we go into that, what now? When people say stopping power, now what does that mean exactly?
One shot can take a person out.
So it says you can't. That won't happen with a 9mm because it has no stopping.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But when you look at the numbers, like a 40 cal take like 2.3 bullets, and a 9mm take like 2.5 bullets to take a person out. Man, we talking, it's still 2 bullets and a half.
Right. And not to mention, we're talking about millennials. You know how soft these kids are nowadays. A lot of homework will take them out. You think a 9mm ain't gonna take somebody out?
But the same people who says a 9 don't have no stopping power will brag and boast about AR-15. But guess what, Brandon?
What?
AR-15, this 223 or 5.56 was designed to shoot prairie dogs, was designed to shoot coyotes, was designed to shoot possums. It was designed to shoot 110-pound Vietnamese people in Vietnam.
Right.
If your claim about stopping power on a 9mm is not enough, you would not never, ever, ever buy AR-15.
Right.
Because an AR-15, this bullet is one of the weakest rifle bullets on the market today.
Really?
Did you know that, Brandon?
No, I didn't know. No.
It's so weak. Most states ban this from hunting deers with it, Brandon.
And why? Is it go ahead.
It's a varmint gun. It's made for prairie dogs. You see the prairie dog? It's made for coyotes, and it's made for possums. Now, look at this list. You see this list, Brandon?
Yeah.
All of these are different rifle bullets. I don't know if I can show this whole thing. All right. All these are different rifle bullets. And everyone on this list is stronger than a 5.56 or the 223. Hold on, let's go to the next list. All these rifle bullets are stronger than a 223 or a 5.56. There is 66 more powerful rifle rounds than a 5.56. So if your theory is correct about 9mm, could we bring that theory to an AR-15? That's why AR-15 in your mind should be trash, but it's not.
It's not.
Because you know why? You know why it's not trash? Because you got bias.
Yeah.
It's something called anchoring bias. Brandon, I'm about to play this video. This is an educational video, guys. We got 10 minutes left, but I think you're going to learn something. Tell me if you can hear it, Brandon. Put a thumbs up.
I can't.
You can't?
No, I can. I can hear it. I can hear it.
In part 4 of our Biases of the Mind series, we will discuss the anchoring bias. The anchoring bias is a cognitive bias that causes us to depend too heavily on the first piece of information we receive to make our decisions or judgments. Once this anchor is set, following judgments or decisions are made by adjusting away from that anchor instead of evaluating it with a clear mind. This psychological anchoring is the cause of our preconceived notions and limits our ability to have new, fresh experiences. For example, we all know how important first impressions are, but have you ever thought about why they're so important? Our tendency to define someone or something based on our first impression of that person or thing is a part of human nature. In fact, recent studies have shown that most of our picture is painted within the first 20 seconds. This is the anchoring bias in full force. Within the first few minutes of meeting someone, we paint a picture of who that person is or what that person is like in our minds. But the thing is, it's quite impossible to accurately judge someone's character or to judge the worthiness of anything for that matter within the first few minutes of our encounter. And because the anchoring bias is so powerful, it takes an unbelievable amount of evidence for us to modify our initial view of that person or thing, even though we've likely been wrong about them all along. This is why first impressions are so important, because they become the foundation which is built upon to create our understanding. The anchoring bias doesn't only apply to people or things, but it also applies to things like numerical values. For example, imagine you are searching for a new home when you finally come across the one of your dreams. So you dial up the real estate agent in charge of selling the home to receive an estimate on the price. "I can sell you the home for $350,000, says the agent. Baffled by the expensive offer, you make a counteroffer. "I can't pay that much. I can offer you $250,000 max, you say to the agent. "Sold," the agent replies. The real estate agent has used the anchoring bias against you. Initially, he was actually looking to sell the house for only $200,000, but by making the initial offer extremely overpriced and anchoring that value in your mind, you now feel you've gotten a stellar deal when you've just paid full price for the home. To overcome this bias, there are a couple of things we can do. First, as with any cognitive bias, we must become aware that it exists. Until we do this, there is nothing we can do. Secondly, and for this bias in particular, we can consciously delay our decision-making process and seek additional information to formulate our final opinion. By delaying our decision-making process, we give ourselves more time to formulate more accurate and longer-lasting judgments. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. See you next Sunday for part 5 of the series.
All right, Brad, you ever knew the term anchoring bias?
Not necessarily, but it makes a lot of sense. And it explains why people are so passionate, especially with guns. But what teams, like, you have a bias to a team, like no matter what that team is, when you're introduced to it, you feel good, you like them. Nobody can turn you off of that team, even if they give you logical, explanation why this team isn't good. And, you're still going to be tied to it blindly, no matter what. You can get rid of all your favorite players. You're still going to love that team.
Correct. This person said it takes a lot of evidence to turn that bias around. For example, let's talk about teams. The Dallas Cowboys, on the way, they won't win a Super Bowl if they lose in the first round. They have to lose. They have to lose right then. That's what only people say, oh, we can't win one this year.
Right.
But they could be 5-12.
Right.
And they be like, we going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But they have to have the door completely shut down and see somebody else win the Super Bowl to believe, like, hey, we can't win it this year. And I think that's what's going on with a lot of people with these gun views. They refuse to hear another outlook. Our channel, we make videos. We brought that. The people who make your bullets in your gun say, you need to look at this right here. Mm-hmm. They say, no, we can't believe that.
Right. It don't matter.
I want to believe a guy, a YouTube guy,
Right.
And watch
or
this.
Just talk to their friend. Like, my friend told me X, Y, and Z. We don't care about what your friend said. We do, but that doesn't change what we're trying to say, because we're not trying to say 9mm is the best for everyone. We never said that.
They actually say that. They say this too, Brandon. They say this is folklore. A 22 does not bounce around. So what you trying to say? A 22 cannot ricochet? That's basically what they're trying to say.
Yeah, I saw some of that too, but I now did some research, and yes, it does happen sometimes.
You could look at you could do research 22 guns bouncing around medical stuff, and you'll see doctors put that in here.
Yeah.
I forwarded my friend Brandon a video of a famous rapper named Waka Flocka Flame.
And I didn't watch it.
You didn't
I ain't watching yet.
He got hit with a bullet at the car wash when a guy
Mm.
was trying to rob him. One bullet hit him 4 times in his body. One bullet hit him 4 times in his body.
But Lewis, that's impossible. That's impossible. Because when a bullet enter you, it just wherever it hit, it's just gonna stop. It's either gonna come out or it's gonna stop.
He said the last hit him in the collarbone and came out. You know, it went here, then it pop, and came out.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is that so hard for people to believe?
Because people have anchoring bias. You cannot once they got this set in, they can't go out.
You can't get any new information.
And that makes you stupid. Okay, hold on. Let me go say this.
Well, you're close-minded.
That makes you vulnerable.
Okay.
So if I know you like Toyotas, and I got a Toyota that I put watch this, I put some sawdust in the transmission. so it'll be shifting good while you're driving it for a little while.
Right.
And you said Toyotas is a good quality. I don't need to get it checked out by a professional.
Right. There you go. Right.
I'm just gonna buy it.
Right, because Toyotas, they run for a long time, and you standing on that information when you need to be trying to check everything anyway.
Correct. I put sawdust in the transmission. It's gonna stand up for a month, and then it's out of there. That's the whole thing on Eddie Griffin. They got Barner Rubble. They put sawdust in the transmission.
I don't remember that.
So it was shifting good when you test driving. But a week later, that thing was blowing up. Yeah. So, but Brady, I think,
Go ahead. I was gonna say,
we got 2 more minutes.
I want to ask you.